Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Shan. So you told us to do the throw and throws for exception handling and to try out that. So, so I did something, but I could not get anything for throws. Like uh, all the videos that I saw, they were only for throw keyword, not throws.
Could you please just come up again? I was not able to hear you.
Oh,
Is
I'm
it?
sorry. So you said to explore throw and throws in exception handling, like how to use these keywords. And you said to explore on your own that and to read uh, about them more and how to make custom exceptions. So I did something.
Throw it from the code, right?
Sorry.
How to throw it from the code?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So
So I did something. I am yet to test though, but I saw like a lot of videos and all. Like I read about it, and then I tried something. Yeah, but that was the homework.
Hello, sir. Hello.
He's
Am I
not there.
audible?
Yes, yes, I know. I guess he's not there.
Okay. Actually, I
Yeah.
have also a question regarding multiple cats.
Oh, okay. You are host anyway, so you can even share your screen.
I am host.
Yeah, now since I guess because of network issue or something.
Actually, today I cannot share my screen because I'm logged in with my mobile phone. That's
Oh,
why.
oh, okay. Yeah, so for me, throw is working. So if you guys want, I can share my screen and I can show you what I did. Can you make me host, Tanu? Oh, okay. Let me show you. So we were doing the throw, right? Like, let me open that file also. So this is what we did, right? Like Friday class, we were checking on the try catch finally blocks, like to try this, and then if that is not running, then to catch this, and then if anything, nothing is working, then finally do this. And the multiple catch block that we did. So what was the question, Tanu, that you had? Tanu?
Actually, my question is that when I have exception class, right? In Epic,
Mm-hmm.
we have exception class and we can handle all the type of exception by using exception class. So why we use multiple cats? If we can do it by only using the exception, then why we use multiple catch?
Yeah, because what happens if you are putting exception, that means you are handling all
Shan, your internet.
when there are some issue with the database. So what happens? They establish a connection. But if there is any error due to database, whatever their operation they are performing, if DML operation or DML exception comes into the picture, they need to close the connection, right? So for that, they check if there is any DML exception. So for DML exception, they close the database connection. Similarly, for other kind of exceptions, there are different things which we need to do. Okay, there are some exceptions which requires like immediate action by the user. So there are some exceptions for which we write the email sending logic, so that user can quickly see and look into it, right? Suppose some lead is getting created. Okay, some inquiry came to the system, but while creating that record, the system gave you DML exception and it failed. But here, if you lose your prospect or your customer to be, then what will happen? It is a loss of revenue. So for that, you can write the logic. If there is any exception while inserting the record, you will just send a mail with those details to a user. That could be one possible scenario, right? So there could be multiple scenarios which can come and which should be handled using divide by zero is coming or math exception is coming. You need to investigate, right? So these all things can be taken care by that. When you go with exception, then all the exceptions which are coming, whether it is arithmetic, whether it is DML, they all will be treated in the same way. You will perform same operation for all the exceptions. But there are some scenarios where you want to perform some specific steps for certain kind of exceptions. Then you go with multiple different type of exceptions handlings. Okay.
Sir, could you please repeat it? Because I think there is network issue, so your voice is breaking continuously.
Oh, so let me do one thing. So, okay. So what we were discussing, when you can handle all the exception with one single exception, right? In catch, then why do we have multiple? This is again an option. Let me tell you, you can use single exception as well. But if there are scenarios that you need to handle different kind of exceptions, different kind of scenarios in a different ways, then what happens? We write different exceptions. Like, for example, when you talk about Java or any other technology, we establish the database connection, right? And if there is any DML operation, DML exception, then we need to close that particular connection. So closing of that particular database connection is being, we should write on DML exception. That could be one scenario. But yes, there is something called as finally. So if there are scenarios where we have to close the connection, whether the DML operation is successful or not, then we go with the finally, which will run every time. But here, when you want to address different kind of exceptions in different ways, okay, like the example which I was giving, suppose some inquiry has come, right? While inserting that record, if there is some exception like DML operation, DML exception, but if you lose that information of the customer prospect, then it is loss of your business, right? So for that, you can write the logic that if there is any DML exception, then send a mail with those details to some user, so that the user of the system can insert those information in the system. That could be one possibility, right? There are multiple batch jobs which runs. So if you deal with thousands of records, right? So there are batches, different batches you create, and on that batch, what happens? Sometimes not all the records gets inserted. So you create whatever comes into the cache, whatever exception is coming, you create the list of those records which fails and send it to the user. So there are multiple scenarios which comes. So when you want to handle different exceptions differently, you want to perform different steps on different exceptions, then you go with multiple exceptions. And here always the catch is the super class. The exception will always come in last, because if you write exception, then directly it will exception handle all the exceptions and the other things will not work. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So any other doubt you guys have?
I do not have doubt, Shan, but I did this as you told to check. So I tried this, and I saw that we have to create one class. If we want to create like a custom class, then we need
Yes.
to define the class name
Yes.
in such a way that we also that in such a way that at the end it should always say exception in the name, and that's how a class gets created, which extends the exception, like the parent is exception. And yeah, so this is what I did, like the same logic only for divide by 0. That's what I tried.
Mhm.
And so first this gets called, because with the control E, I am only calling this.
Exception, right? And you have put it inside throw and inside try catch. So you're not using throws. But the moment you remove that try, just comment try and catch, comment it.
Like bigger comment?
Try and catch should be commented. Yeah, catch, whole catch. and try the curly brackets. Try. Now see, that closing bracket should be there. So see if that closing bracket is of try. Yeah, check.
No. Brackets is fine.
Yeah. Now execute it.
Script thrown exception.
Yeah. So here, if you want to tell the user explicitly that this method is throwing an exception, and what kind of exception it is throwing, then you write throws keyword. Check throws keyword. Did you check throws keyword?
I was checking, but there was nothing that came for throws in Salesforce. Like I saw so many videos, nothing they like for.
Yeah, this is a concept of Java. Mainly that happens in Java. Okay.
So here, instead of throws.
No. Throw will be used when you want to throw the exception. Throws will be used when you want to tell someone that this method is throwing some error. Okay, go up. Okay, go up and write throws after the in line number 2. After bracket, write throws. Line number 2, not here.
Oh,
Line number 2
after
and
here?
right. Yes. We write throws. And then you write exception name, test exception. Yeah. No. Not that color. Yeah. Save it. Okay, that is not separated. Remove it. That's okay. So just to know that throw is there, which is there to throw the exception. Okay.
Okay.
Now you are done with throw and throws, right? Sorry, throw and how to use try catch. So there is something called as finally. So if you want to execute anything, irrespective of
We saw that.
we saw it, right? Then you go with finally back, right? Now this is called exception handling. How you handle the exception in Salesforce. Now you want to go with the interface, right? How one class extends the property of parent class.
Right.
Okay, this is called inheritance. How the inheritance happens in Salesforce. Okay, so let's go and create one class.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
So if we can handle all the exceptions by using try and catch, then why throw and throws come into the picture?
See, throw means
I guess Tanu, it's because
exception. Okay, and you want to terminate. Sometimes what happens, if certain condition matches, you want to terminate your code.
Okay.
In that case, you write your own exception and you throw it.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So there are some conditions which create exception, like divide by zero happens, or some DML operation, DML exception occurs, null pointer exception occurs. So in that case, that is coming due to the data. But there are chances that the data is not going to cause any kind of exception. But you want to terminate the execution of your code. Suppose if someone is residing in Delhi, then the code should not be executed. Suppose this is the condition. So in that case, you will throw your exception. Either you will go with if else, or you want to terminate it. Like I want to crash the system. If someone is resident of Delhi, then okay. So there are certain conditions where you can use it. Not very popularly we use it. Just it is for you to know. This is how we throw a custom exception. Okay. Okay. You must know that your parents, you inherit some of the property from your parents, right? As we are human being, we inherit the property that we will have two hands, two legs, eyes, and everything. But certain features we inherit from our parents, right? Like the skin tone, like the eyes color, like the hair type, and some of the thing comes as the brain. Someone say that in this family, everyone is intelligent, right? You might have heard that word.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In this family, right? Have you ever heard of it or not? These kind of things. Some genetic qualities everyone has, which they inherit from their parents, right? In some families, they are very good for business. In some families, they are good politicians, right? So these all things they inherit from their parents, right? So this is called inheriting the property from the parent. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Shan, you're audible.
Okay, so did you get what happens in
Yes, Shan.
inheritance? What?
Yes, Shan.
So you inherit some of the property from your parents, right? So here the child class has access or also has those qualities in it. You can say not only the access, it has those qualities, like it has those qualities. Like suppose if there is a bird class, right? So every bird has the quality to fly, right? Every bird flies, right? That is the common property with each and every bird, right or not? Every bird has
Yes,
wing,
yes,
right?
Shan.
So these are the common properties with each and every bird, right? For when we talk about dog, the dog's bark. Bark is one property of a dog, right? When you talk about human being, so every human being can walk or run, right? Or write or speak, right? So these are the common properties of every human being or dog or bird, right? And apart from that, there are some people who has some extra property. Like when you talk about car, so there are most common properties are every car has four wheels, right? Steering. These are the common properties. But nowadays, when you talk about high-tech cars, they have more features, right? Like talk about they have lots of sensors, ADAS, right? They do have, right? They have some automatic, some manual. So these are the
Yes,
advanced features which they have. They have advanced safety features like airbags, right? And some car has very advanced feature like they can consume least amount of fuels and give you more power, right?
yes,
Like TPS means tire pressure monitoring system is there, TPMS, and there are multiple more things. If you have any issue in the car, that car indicates. So apart from the common features, they have some unique features in addition to that. So same thing happens when you write a class. They have one common features which will be there in a parent class, and they will extend those features. They will add some more features in it. Okay. So this much is clear with everyone.
Yes, sir.
What is inheritance? How people inherit things, and what class is going to do? Class will inherit all the properties of its parents' class, like the car or dog or everything. If you write, so you can. So I'm giving you one homework that think about car class. What are the common properties it has, and what can be additional features which will be unique to each and every different kind of cars. Similarly, dog class, bird class, human being, right? So this will be your homework to check how common
Your voice is not audible,
Like you
Chan.
use extends keyword. So extends is used when
There is a voice breakage, Chan. The homework is not clear. So, guys, it seems the work is to check on the inheritance, and we'll see tomorrow. He just dropped an email, a message at WhatsApp. So, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Right.